love these. These are going to be so delicious. Oh, hi. Woo! I'm just getting ready some things that we're going to do later today. I'm so excited. Are you excited too? Great. Welcome back to Camp Read-A-Lot. I'm Mrs. Hammock, and I am so excited that you're here at camp with me. Camp is a time for learning and having fun. At Camp Read-A-Lot, we'll spend our days reading and talking and singing and learning and enjoying all kinds of activities together that will help us become strong readers. That's right. Hey, parents, I just want to remind you that if you make sure your children read 6 books this summer, they will not lose any of the reading progress that they've made. Isn't that awesome? 6 books is all you need to make sure they're reading so that that doesn't happen. We don't want any summer sliding. We want to be ready for next school year. So won't you please check out some books from the library and let your kiddos read to you? I can't wait to see the great progress that they're going to hold on to and even grow. You ready to sing our song, boys and girls? I know you are. Hello, readers. Hello, writers. Hello, campers. I'm glad you're here today. Hello, readers. Hello, writers. Hello, campers. I'm glad you're here today. All right, campers, it's time for us to do our Camp Read-A-Lot pledge. Are you ready? Hold up your hand. Here we go. On my honor, repeat after me. I will try my best to be kind to everyone, have a smile on my face, and a song in my heart. Great job. You did a great job. Are you learning that pledge? Me too. It's a good one. All right, you know, it's time for us to, what? Yeah, train our ears for sound. You know, we always start our day listening to the beautiful sounds at Camp Read-A-Lot, including some of the fun games that we play to train our ears for sound. And you know, that little rascally squirrel friend of mine is missing again. I can't believe it. I don't know where he goes off to. But when I was getting our snack things ready, I think I found him. We need to go get him, but he's sleeping. So let's go find him. Ready? Let's tiptoe over. Scooter! Woo! What are you doing still sleeping? The day is begun. We have things to do. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. I know. You're very sleepy. It's okay. But the campers are here and they're ready to play our sound game. Do you think you can do it? Oh, good. Okay. Well, wipe your eyes. Here, there you go. There. Now you look ready. Let's go over to our spot and play our sound game, okay? Great. All right. Did you think of a game that you'd like to play with our campers? Oh, you do? Okay, what might that game be? Oh, a rhyming game? Oh, that sounds fun. I like rhyming. Okay, so what do we do? What are you going to have us do? Okay. Okay. Scooter is going to tell us 3 words. 2 of them rhyme, but 1 does not. And your job is to figure out which 2 words rhyme. Are you ready? Okay, let's see. All right, what are they? Yeah. Okay. Hook, throw, book. Can you tell which ones rhyme? Hook, throw, book. Okay. Hook, what? Yes, and book. Very good. Hook and book rhyme. Did you know that? You did. Hook and book. They both say ook. Great job. Okay, do you have more words? Oh, that's good. Okay, gate, skate, game. Ooh, that's tricky. Gate, skate, they both say 8. Good job. Yay, we're so happy. Okay, we have one last set of words. Are you ready? Kite, 9, vine. Kite, 9, vine. Right, good job. 9, vine, they both say ein. Great job. You did a terrific job, campers. Good listening. All right, I have a joke for you today. Oh, hey, I tell good jokes. All right, here we go. Are you ready? Okay. What kind of shoes does a ninja wear? What kind of shoes does a ninja wear? Oh, he's thinking, he's thinking. Sneakers! That was a good one. Oh, you like that one? Oh, good. I'm glad you like that one. That was a good one. I worked hard on finding a good joke that you might like. All right, you know, it's time for us to look at our catch of the day and figure out some of the words that we're going to use for our story. And so, do you think you can be a good helper and sit right over by the log? Oh, good. And later, I'll have another joke for you. And I think I'm going to have you help me with the activity today, okay? Oh, excellent. He said to tell you, campers, he's glad you're here today. Yeah, he's a nice little squirrel. All right, sit right here, please. Be a good boy. All right. Today, our catch of the day, we have quite a catch. Check it out. Wow! Look at all of those word fish. Amazing. All right, let's take a look. This is a word that you might already know. This word says library. Library. A library is a place in your community where people go to get books. You can use the computers, they have magazines. And I know that a lot of you have visited your school library because your school community also has a library. And then you also could visit your library in your community, the Free Public Library. It's a fun place to go. All right, let's take a look at this next one. This one says story elements. Story elements. And I know you already know what this is, you just might not realize it. Story elements are talking about the character of a story, the events or what's happening in the story, and the setting, where the story is taking place. Those are story elements. And we're going to talk about those story elements today in the story that I have to share with you. Let's see, this one is rules. Oh, I know you know what this one is, right? Rules are statements, what you are allowed to do or not. Rules help keep us safe. So rules are statements that tell us what to do and what not to do to keep us safe. All right, let's see this one. Oh, describe. Describe. This word means to tell about something or what someone is like, to describe them. Like I could say that Scooter is a furry little friend. I'm describing him. Okay, so describe. These are words that we're going to hear in our story today. And the story that I have to share with you today and tomorrow, we're going to be talking about belonging. Belonging. Now, belonging means when you feel needed or loved and respected in a community. It might even just be the community of your own home, but belonging means you feel connected like you belong there. And so we're going to listen to this story today, and I want you to think about some ways that you see characters feeling belonging in the story, okay? Let me get my tool for my eyes. Remember, we use the tools that we need to help us be successful, and my eyes need tools, the glasses, to help them. So today is our first day that we're going to be talking about belonging, and remember, it means to be needed or loved and respected. All right, so here's our front cover. The story is called Library Lion, and it is written by Michelle Knudsen, and it's illustrated by Kevin Hawks. So there are 2 people listed on our title. Here's our back cover of the book. It tells us a little bit about the story. Remember, some of those do and some don't. Here's our title page, Library Lion. Let's find out what this story is going to be about. One day, a lion came to the library. He walked right past the circulation desk and up to the stacks. Look at Mr. McBee ran down the hall to the head librarian's office. "Miss Merriweather," he called. "No running," said Miss Merriweather without looking up. "But there's a lion," said Mr. McBee, "in the library." "Is he breaking the rules?" asked Miss Merriweather. She was very particular about rule breaking. "Well, no," said Mr. McBee, not really." "Then leave him be." What do you think, Miss Merriweather? Why do you think she said he could stay? Yeah, he wasn't breaking any rules, right? What do you think she would have said if he were breaking rules? I think you're right. They would have had to go. The lion wandered all around the library. He sniffed the card catalog. He rubbed his head against the new book collection. Then he padded over to the story corner and went to sleep. No one was sure what to do. There weren't any rules about lions in the library. Soon it was time for story hour. There weren't any rules about lions at story hour either. The story lady seemed a little bit nervous, but she read out the first book's title in a good, clear voice. The lion looked up, and the story lady kept reading. The lion stayed for the next story, and the story after that. He waited for another story, but the children began to walk away. "Story hour is over," said a little girl told him. "It's time to go." The lion looked at the children. He looked at the story lady. He looked at the closed books. Then he roared very loud. "Roar!" Miss Merriweather came striding out of her office. "Who is making that noise?" she demanded. "It's the lion," said Mr. McBee. Miss Merriweather marched over to the lion. "If you cannot be quiet, you will have to leave," she said in a very stern voice. "Those are the rules." The lion kept roaring. He sounded sad. The little girl tugged on Miss Merriweather's dress. "If he promises to be quiet, can he come back for story hour tomorrow?" she said. The lion stopped roaring and he looked at Miss Merriweather. Miss Merriweather looked back. Then she said, "Yes, a nice, quiet lion would certainly be allowed to come back for story hour tomorrow." "Hooray!" said the children. So how would you describe the lion? What do you think? Wow, yeah, he's big. He has lots of fur. He must like stories, right? And what do we know so far? He likes being with the kids in the library, doesn't he? The next day, the lion came back. "You are early," said Miss Merriweather. "Story hour is not until 3 o'clock. The lion did not budge. Very well, said Miss Merriweather. You might as well make yourself useful. She sent him off to dust the encyclopedias until it was time for story hour. The next day the lion came early again. This time, Miss Merriweather asked him to lick all of the envelopes of the overdue notices. Look at his big tongue. Soon the lion began doing other things without being asked. He dusted the encyclopedias, he licked the envelopes, he let small children stand on his back to reach books on the highest shelves, and then he curled up in the story corner to wait for story hour to begin. At first, the people in the library were very nervous about him, but soon they got used to having him around. In fact, he seemed very well suited for the library. His feet were big, but they were quiet on the library floor, and he made a comfy backrest for the children during story hour, and he never roared in the library anymore. What a helpful lion, people said. They patted his soft head as they walked by. How did we ever get along without him? Mr. McBee scowled when he heard that. They had always gotten along just fine. No lions needed. Lions, he thought, could not understand rules. They did not belong in the library. One day, after he had dusted all the encyclopedias and licked all of the envelopes and helped all of the small children, the lion padded down the hall to Miss Merriweather's office to see what else there was to do. There was still some time left before story hour. Hello, Lion, said Miss Merriweather. I know something you can do. You can bring a book back into the stacks for me. Let me just get it down from the shelf. Miss Merriweather stepped onto the step stool. The book was just out of reach. Miss Merriweather stood on her toes. She stretched out her fingers. Almost there, she said. Then Miss Merriweather stretched a little too far. Ouch, said Miss Merriweather softly, and she did not get up. Mr. McBee, she called after a minute. Mr. McBee! But Mr. McBee was at the circulation desk. He could not hear her calling. Lion, said Miss Merriweather, please go and get Mr. McBee. Lion ran down the hall. No running, said Miss Merriweather. The lion put his big front paws up on the circulation desk and looked at Mr. McBee. Go away, Lion, said Mr. McBee. I am busy. The lion whined and he pointed his nose down the hall toward Miss Merriweather's office. Mr. McBee ignored him. Finally, the lion did the only thing that he could think of. He looked at Mr. McBee right in the eye and he opened his mouth very wide and he roared the loudest roar he had ever roared in his whole life. Roar! Mr. McBee gasped. You're not being quiet, he said to the lion. You're breaking the rules. Mr. McBee walked down the hall as fast as he could. The lion did not follow. He had broken the rules. He knew what that meant. He hung his head low and walked toward the doors. Mr. McBee didn't notice. Miss Merriweather, he called as he walked. Miss Merriweather, the lion has broken the rules. The lion has broken the rules. He burst into Miss Merriweather's office, and she was not in her chair. Miss Merriweather, he asked. Sometimes, said Miss Merriweather from the floor, there's a good reason to break rules, even in the library. Now, please go call a doctor. I think I've broken my arm. Mr. McBee ran to call a doctor. No running, said Miss Merriweather after him. The next day, things were back to normal. Well, almost. Miss Merriweather's left arm was in a cast. The doctor told her not to work too hard. I will have my lion to help me, Miss Merriweather thought. But the lion did not come to the library that morning. At 3 o'clock, Miss Merriweather walked over to the story corner. The story lady was just beginning a story for the children. The lion wasn't there. People in the library kept looking up from their books and computer screens, hoping they would finally see a familiar furry face. But the lion did not come that day. The lion did not come the next day or the day after that either. One evening, Mr. McBee stopped by Miss Merriweather's office on his way out. "Can I do anything for you before I go, Miss Merriweather?" he asked her. "No, thank you," said Miss Merriweather. She was looking out the window. Her voice was very quiet, even for the library. Mr. McBee frowned as he walked away. He thought there probably was something he could do for Miss Merriweather after all. What do you think he's going to do? Why do you think she's so sad? I think so too. The library lion is missing. Mr. McBee left the library, but he did not go home. He walked around the neighborhood and he looked under cars. He looked under bushes. He looked in backyards, trash cans, and tree houses. Finally, he circled all the way around back to the library, and the lion was sitting outside looking through the glass doors. "Hello, lion," said Mr. McBee. The lion did not turn around. "I thought you might like to know," said Mr. McBee, "there's a new rule in the library. No roaring aloud unless you have a very good reason. Say, if you're trying to help a friend who's been hurt, for example." The lion's ears twitched. He turned around, but Mr. McBee was walking away. The next day, Mr. McBee walked down the hall to Miss Merriweather's office. "What is it, Mr. McBee?" asked Miss Merriweather in her new, sad, quiet voice. "I thought you might like to know," said Mr. McBee, "that there's a lion in the library." Miss Merriweather jumped up from her chair and ran down the hall. Mr. McBee smiled. "No running," he called after her, but Miss Merriweather didn't listen. Sometimes there is a good reason to break the rules, even in the library. Ugh, don't you love that story? Oh my goodness. I love that story. Wasn't it so great? So how did the people feel about the lion being in the library? Right, at first they were nervous, right? But then they kind of got used to him being there, and they missed him when he was gone. What do you think about Mr. McBee? Right, he didn't really like the lion, did he? I wonder why. Well, let's take a look at our chart today. We have our story elements. Remember, I told you those are the parts of the story that make up the story. There's characters and a setting, and then the events that happen in the story. So let's look here. Characters, we have the library lion, we have Miss Merriweather, and Mr. McBee. We also have the setting. That's where does the story take place? And it takes place in the library. And then here are some events. The library lion becomes part of the library community. And Miss Merriweather gets hurt, and the library lion must help her. You know, these are things that you can find in all stories that you read. The characters tell us who is in the story and who the story is about. The setting tells us where it's happening, and the different events make up the story. Why don't you see today if you can look for some of those story events in the books you're reading? All right, you know what? I have a joke for us, and my friend Scooter is going to come help us. Are you ready? All right, Scooter, this is a good one. Are you ready? Okay, I've been practicing this one. I hope I get it right. Okay. What did the stopwatch, let me think. What did the stopwatch say to the clock? Don't be alarmed. That's a good one. Did you like that one? He said it was okay. Hey, boys and girls, today Scooter's going to come over in here and help me because we have a little fun activity today to go with our story, Library Lion. We are going to make a lion snack. So I have some tortillas. I have peanut butter. Now, I know some of you cannot have peanut butter, so you could use a spreadable cheese or a cream cheese. I'm going to spread this all around. I'm going to use the Cheetos Ooh, delicious. For the library lion's head, the fur around his face called a mane. I'm going to put these all around. I'm going to use some M&Ms for his eyes. I think I'm going to give my guy green eyes. I'm going to use a goldfish cracker for his nose. And I'm going to use the pretzels for his whiskers. Won't that be cool? Look at that. Now I've got a library lion that I can eat. Oh, I might even put a few more Cheetos. Did you get an idea about belonging from our story? Could you tell that the library lion belonged to the community? Wasn't that awesome? All right. I hope you'll come back to Camp Read-A-Lot tomorrow. Skinnamarink-a-dink-a-dink, Skinnamarink-a-doo. I love you. Come back and see us tomorrow. We have another book about belonging. Bye-bye.